and I will give you £1 if you can tell me why the pink lakes of Western Australia are pink.
It's the sun reflecting off the arid ground in the bottom, even though that wouldn't be arid, would it?
Because it's
moist. Algae.
What?
Yes.
Right.
It's because of that pool at the Olympics. I've been doing my research.
Yeah, that was a dumb question to ask.
Is it algae?
It is algae, yeah. Literally no one today in BCD's got that. In fact, most of them just looked at me like, what are you asking? We asked the question.
So that's the first time I have been successful today, and there may be more to come.
We'll see.
Hey, by the way, Andy is off camera. He's going to do the driving. So if this Ford Raptor starts moving around and you don't see controllers in our hands, it's because Andy's doing it. Thanks, Andy. Right, so we'll get started?
Yeah.
Let's see this thing moving.
Let's go. So yeah, you're right. This is the 2017 Ford Raptor, which is also a cover car. We've concentrated on the Lamborghini Centenario because it's awesome so far. But on the front cover of Horizon 3, which is just up there, we have a 2017 Ford Raptor jumping over the Centenario because cars.
Just because,
Yeah. So here we are in the Outback, and so for me, this is like the most Australian bit of Australia, right? This is like quintessential Australia, the red earth and the big skies and this really sort of rugged terrain. And obviously the algae in the lakes, as you say.
It looks amazing, absolutely incredible.
It's not ugly, is it?
No,
yeah. I mean, honestly, I think of all the areas that we were starting to research, I was kind of worried about the Outback because I thought, is it a bit like a desert? You know, is it going to be fun? It's crazy fun, and it's also got this really stark beauty to it as well, which is a
really unique sort of biome and terrain, isn't it? So in a way, that must have been going back to the drawing board for you, because you can't reuse assets from previous games for this.
Oh no!
Not that I'm saying you would do that, but this is like outside your comfort zone in terms of landscaping, right?
It kind of is, yeah. I mean, no, we never reuse anything. We always build everything from scratch in each new Horizon game, and. So this is a gold mine. This is an actual gold mine that's in the Outback. But yeah, you're right. I mean,
oh, look at these. How many people have asked if you can drive one of them?
Just you.
Just you. I'm on a roll. Can you drive one of them?
Cannot.
Can you jump one of them?
I'm sure. Sure, why not?
That would be wicked.
Yeah,
absolutely. Oh, look at that one there as well.
So this is so we always build these, we call them like playground areas, right? Because they're built specifically so you can just go and have fun in cars in them, and we play our online playground games in them, so like King and Infected, and actually we've got a new one this time called Flag Rush, so you'll be able to play all of those in arenas just like that one, and of course you can explore it in free roam, and there's races set there as well, so it's all pretty cool.
Can I just say that if you know how like IGN and all the other magazines and websites give out awards at shows like this?
They do, yes.
Every year I would give you best hot air balloons in a video game. Or every 2 years, whatever.
It's a closely contested category.
Well, these are the preeminent developers for hot air balloons.
Thanks.
So
our hot air balloon team will be really gratified to hear that back at Playgrounds. So I mean, I should mention the skies, right? Because a lot of incredible work went into that. Also, a lot of mortal danger as well. These skies that you're seeing in the game here, that is an Australian sky, right? So we built this custom camera rig, right? 12K HDR rig, shipped it out to Australia, and some of our guys like camped in the Outback recording what the skies did, and then incredible engineers back at Playground have created this revolutionary system that allows us to stream it in and put it in the sky. So that's a real Australian sky, dynamically unfolds. It looks incredibly brilliant, and it lights really the whole of the world as well in a really naturalistic way. So
and you say they camped in the Outback?
Totally, yeah.
Like tents and stuff?
In a kind of a camper van kind of thing, yeah.
So how long were they there?
So some months, on and off some months. And the thing about the Outback, obviously, is that everything there wants to kill you. Right, and this camera rig is basically, it's got lots of like crevices in it and holes where spiders are like, yes. So they had to de-spider it every time they went to change the lens, and they have to change the lens every 50 minutes or an hour.
Seriously?
Or something like that. Yeah, it's like
what an experience that is.
Right.
Who's on spider duty today? Ooh,
I think it's your turn.
That's incredible. So if you've got an Xbox One S and a screen capable of showing it, you're going to really see the benefits of HDR here as well, right?
So the Sky is probably the place where you see HDR in effect, most obviously, because when we're looking at it, it looks amazing, and the clouds are white. In HDR, they become so many more versions of white, right? More white than you thought existed, and it's a kind of difficult thing to explain in words. I'm sure you've found yourself, but it's once you see it, you kind of can't unsee it.
It looks more like a real sky than anything I've ever seen in a video game.
Cool. So this is the race that we're gonna compete on.
All right. Oh, already? You're going straight in with the competition.
Yeah.
Oh, I like it. All right. Well, let's do it. I don't know if anyone else remembers. It's a big deal for me. 2 years ago, when Forza Horizon 2 was coming out at Gamescom, we had a little head-to-head, didn't we? And I think I won.
Did you?
Did I win?
That's literally only the 7th time this week you've mentioned that. It's just,
it made me incredibly happy. So it's time for your shot of revenge.
I'll tell you what we're going to do, actually. So this is currently set up for the truck that Andy's in, but I want us to do this in buggies. So we're going to show off a little bit of Horizon Blueprint, which is a totally new feature in the game. Horizon Blueprint is basically putting you in charge of the game you play, right? We're all different, we all have different tastes. Horizon Blueprint allows you to configure all of the events, all the gameplay in the game to your own personal taste. So, like I say, I really like us to do this in buggies, and Andy can just set that up using this tool. You can see all the different car types that are there. If I wanted to, I could go like super specific. I could specify the actual individual cars that are allowed. And you can set up the race settings here, so we can set time of day, we can set weather conditions, and we can give it a name. There we go. So the great thing about this, the reason we give it a name actually, is because as soon as we create this, it automatically populates into all my all my friends' games as well, right?
Really?
So immediately that's there. Then they can play the race I've created, and they know it's from me because they'll see my gamer tag. And
what, by going to that
like
point in the map?
Yeah, absolutely. You just rock up there.
How cool is that?
I know, right?
I love that. Are you going first?
I'll go first.
Yeah.
I'll kind of show you the way.
And this is part of essentially the storyline of Horizon 3 now, right? You're in charge of the festival, so you're in charge of creating.
You are the
events.
boss. Yeah. So you make all the big decisions. And one of them is what kind of racing you want to do, and it extends beyond that. You can create your own bucket list challenges as well. So that's what we're going to be, and that's on a Lumicraft Class 10 race car. I'm sure you were about to say.
I am a little bit worried that you went straight for the buggies. It feels like you might have been preparing for this and maybe stacking the deck in your favour a little bit.
Well, we're unstacking the deck because I'm playing in manual gears, which I don't normally do.
We were talking earlier that I just recently started, actually when Motorsport 6 came out, started learning to play manual gears. So hopefully that gives me a wee bit of an advantage. So how much of a challenge was it to bring like a new type of vehicle into the game essentially? Again, you're adding more and more.
So this one is quite a challenge. It has some of the most complex suspension. I mean, you can see it working there right on the side of the car. Some of the most complex suspension that we've ever had in Forza. As we smash some poor guy's fences. But this class of vehicle I think was like essential for this game. As soon as we saw the Outback and the kind of terrain that you're going to be racing over.
Hello. No, not the fences.
You really want to be bouncing over that in buggies like we're doing right here. This race is amazing actually because it goes up.
Up into the hills.
Up into the hills. It's actually going to go through the gorge, Ormiston Gorge, which is in the northern territories of Australia. Okay. And it is pretty beautiful. It's actually one of the first places we researched, and we just totally fell in love with it when we saw it.
It's getting a little bit stormy over there as well. Is that going to roll in?
We will see. I hope not. I'm in enough trouble as it is.
How much of like real places and real inspiration did you take from the geography of Australia?
So every place is real. It's all based on real places in Australia. The thing we did, the sort of the artistic license that we took, if you like, was in how we arranged them, right? So it's not a one-to-one geographical mapping of Australia, nor should it be, because we're making a game here first and foremost. So we got all the beauty of Australia, but arranged into a world that's
Try to put it on 3 wheels.
that works, yeah.
I've seen them do that in YouTube videos.
That works as a game, right? It's great for driving, it's great for discovery, it's great for exploration.
Hold on, steward's inquiry.
This is surely allowed.
Well, I'm definitely allowed a couple now as well. Oh, there's the other one. And you know, one of the things you've said before is that Australia again gives you that incredible diversity of geography, of terrain, of landscape, right? I mean,
Totally.
more so than really anywhere you've been in Horizon before.
It is twice as diverse as Forza Horizon 2. How do we possibly measure that? Kind of. Well, so we call them ecotypes, right? So every rainforest is an ecotype, Outback is an ecotype. So there are 6 in Horizon 3. There were only really sort of 3, maybe 4 in Horizon 2. And that was something we really wanted to give our players in this game, like a real sense of, like, as you move around the world, it changing and it becoming. That was all right. I will take third.
Okay.
I'll take
so
third.
Doing it on position or time? 3:04. 3:04.
Well, third and 3:04:34. 0:34. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, congratulations.
Well done, Graham. That was a valiant effort.
Took you 2 years.
Yeah. 2 years of solid
the
practice.
That buggy feels amazing though, because you're really getting the sense of that, like mad suspension.
You really feel it bouncing over the.
Totally. Well, that's why you've got to watch on those jumps so much, because if you hit that just at slightly the wrong angle, then you're away. And that drag in the water is really noticeable as well, and you know, so even hitting the water at the right angle.
Absolutely, and
really
there's kind of race
difference,
strategy there as well. Not so much maybe in that race, although you do probably want to avoid it as much as you can.
Yeah.
There's other races where you're maybe skirting a reservoir, and you want to keep your wheels away from just dipping into that deeper water. It could spin you, you know.
Yeah.
So
or
yeah,
nudge an opponent in there.
there's a ton of variety in the racing as a result. We're kind of layering systems on system and features on features to change it up a lot.
But
in
all
this
still
game.
built on essentially the classic Forza physics models and
That's
all
right.
the engineering behind the scenes there.
Absolutely,
as well, right?
yeah. So a ton of work on this game has gone into tyre compounds and suspension, particularly for off-road. We have probably more off-road than we've had in previous games in this one. So we want to make sure that it's really authentic and that cars deal with surface changes in a kind of authentic way as well. Which if you took a supercar onto that course, the results would be very, very different.
Absolutely. Hold the bus. What is this?
So this.
I've never seen anything like this before.
So this is the effect of the wide body kit, right? This is a Nissan 240SX, which is like a kind of 90s car, and it's cool. It's got kind of
like a drift classic, right?
It is, yes. But we've stuck a Rocket Bunny wide body kit on this, and it just kind of changes it, doesn't it?
It looks mad.
And there's been a ton of sort of visual customization upgrades that we've added in this game.
Is that something you heard from the Forza community? Were they asking particularly these wide body kits, which we know people go mad for?
It's been one of the biggest requests, right? It's always been something that they want to do, and if I'm honest, it's something we've wanted to do as well. We just felt this was the game where we were going to go and try and do it. And we did, so we've got kits from Rocket Bunny, like this one. We've got kits from Liberty Walk as well.
Yeah.
We've really refreshed our wheel list as well in this game. We've added more than 30 new wheels from really cool manufacturers. If you're into your wheels, you'll know 1552 and Rotiform and ADV1 as well. So there's a ton of new things you can do. There's more parts for more cars than we've ever had before. So if you're into visual customization of your cars, there's going to be a lot in this game for you.
It looks incredible. This thing looks like it's a bit tricky to control as well. It's a monster.
Yeah, it kind of is. So it's raining. A bunch of people have asked about weather in the game. Some people seem to think it doesn't rain in Australia. That's not true. Right. But yeah, it's absolutely, it can rain. Again, it all comes back to these skies. As they start to roll in, you'll see the big dark clouds roll, across the sky. Dark, and you'll have that chance of rain, which obviously changes up the visuals of the game, but also the handling as well. And this, so this is the first time we've shown a drift zone, which is entirely new for Horizon 3, and Andy is making look pretty easy. So it's a sequence of bends as you would expect, and we're going to score you based on how many or how big of a drift you can do around it.
Andy will be off to Formula D pretty soon on this show, isn't he? It's incredible. Okay, so this is like, you know, the speed zones from previous, it's a new...
Exactly, it joins
like
that family of things, so speed zones and speed traps, and danger sign jumps as well. We kind of showed one of them at E3 as well. So they all sort of join that family, and again, as you would expect, you get, you get stars for them now, as Andy just did there, but you also have a leaderboard in each one, so you're going to be compared to your friends. There's always that sort of social rivalry going on as you're driving around the world.
The drift community around Forza and Horizon in particular, you know, guys like Domestic Mango and Don Joe on Song, they're going to love this.
I hope so, yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing, we've always known right from the first one, there's always been a really strong drift community within Horizon. The drift zone is, I guess, the first thing we've ever done really to speak to them specifically, but there's a bunch of drift
even the body kits and even the
Yeah.
styling of this type of car is playing to that community so much, isn't it? I mean, do you keep a track on, you know, those kind of YouTube videos that are going up?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Very,
pause and wait.
very wise. You want to show drone mode? We're going to show drone mode.
Drone mode?
This is something we haven't shown before either, actually. So
Oh.
any point within the game, you can just pop out and fly a drone. Oh, cheers, mate. Which is kind of a cool, cool thing. People are always asking if they can get out of the car in Horizon, and now
Yeah.
you know, kind of they can.
Yeah.
And you know, the people that make videos, you know, like those guys you mentioned,
Yeah.
I think this is going to be a fantastic tool for them because it's a control over a camera that they've just never had before.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's totally, you know, a free camera that they can fly, and that works in online, right? So if I was in an online session, or if Andy was in an online session where appropriately, you know, you could just pop out into drone mode, film your
Seriously?
friends, yeah, absolutely, film them drifting around, you know, use it to frame up the action.
Oh, that's
it's also,
incredible.
it's a cool way to find barn finds as well. So you can just really sort of zip around the environment, and it
Love
discovers things as you see them. Then you just have to pop to them in the map.
That's really good.
So this is Surfer's Paradise, just
Yeah.
then the hopping over the horizon there. You can see the glints on the glass skyscrapers.
Oh, and you've leveled up as well. That looks incredible. Is that a double rainbow?
That is a double rainbow, yeah.
Very nice.
Thank you, Australia's skies.
Talk to me about the Australian cars you've put in here, because that's one of the things I love about that, is you've really gone for like Australian car culture in here as well.
Yes, yeah. So there was I guess there was a temptation just to set it in Australia. We didn't really want to do that. You know, we want to, you know, sort of respect Australian domestic car culture.
Yeah.
There's, you know, Australian music in there as well. But you know, in terms of cars, they have a different kind of car culture. The things that are important to them are different from us. You know, it's very much Ford versus Holden. That is like the national rivalry. They love their utes.
Yeah.
So we've got a ton of utes in the game, basically.
And some real classic ones as well,
Yeah,
right? From
the
70s.
very oldest Holden ute is in the game. So very sadly, this year is the last year of domestic production of utes by both Ford and Holden.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. They're stopping making them in Australia. But we have both the final Ford and the final Holden ute in the game. We have like the '74 Sandman, which is a classic, you know, Australian panel van. Yeah, and there's a whole bunch. You know, I don't think you could make a game in Australia without really, without really honouring that tradition of cars.
And I think, you know, it's not that well known a car culture either, right? So it'd be quite fascinating for people, I think, to see the types of cars that Australians.
I totally agree. I mean, one of the
about
first
it.
cars that we offer you in the game is a ute, and
Right.
it kind of looks unusual to us, but I love putting it in there because, you know, it's contextual to the world that we've created.
Yeah, I just can't hear ute without thinking of old school neighbours. And imagining Toadfish in the back there with a tinny or something. Although they didn't do that in Neighbours. All right, fantastic. And let's talk about music as well.
Yes.
You can't talk about Horizon without talking about music. So we haven't unveiled the full track list yet.
We have not, although I imagine we have just unveiled some of the tracks that are in the game there,
Exactly.
just by streaming it.
And it's sounding pretty strong already. I mean, what are you going for in terms of the sort of the music feel this time?
So I think we've established kind of a Horizon brand in terms of music over the previous couple of games. What I really want the soundtrack to do is for it to appeal to more people, right? We have a really broad audience in Horizon, and I'd love there to be music for everyone in that game, and that's kind of the tactic we've used here. We have more radio stations than we've ever had before. There are more styles of music in the game, so like people asked us for hip hop, so we've got a hip hop station in the game.
Yeah.
People asked us for like heavier rock than we've ever done before. We have a station from Epitaph Records, which very much delivers that sort of hard rock, hardcore, punk as well as on that station. We have a kind of a more popular end of the rock scale station from Vagrant Records, who are this really awesome independent record label who have a bunch of artists. So we've got, I was about to start listing the artists. There are a bunch of artists on that. You'll look up Vagrant Records, you'll be able to find
there you go.
there's a ton of cool stuff there, as well as like old favourites, the Horizon Pulse. We never talk about Horizon Pulse and Bass Arena because they're kind of staples, but they're back as well. It's Bass Arena we've been listening to during this playthrough. And I guess the final piece of that puzzle, because it's impossible to put songs on the disc, as it were, that appeal to everybody, because people's music taste is so diverse. And the way that we can genuinely say that in this game you can drive to the music you love is through the Groove Music station, which you will unlock in the game, and which will allow you to stream your own music collection from your OneDrive, which is incredible, like witchcraft. And also stream music from the Groove Music service as well if you're a subscriber. If you're not, you're going to be able to sign up for free for a trial. And then you can just basically pull playlists down from that and play them on the Groove station. So whatever you are into, it's possible for you to drive and listen to it in Horizon, which is great.
Love that. And you've got churches in it again.
We do have churches in it. That was kind of a no-brainer, right?
Massively a fan of that. All right, brilliant. Have we got anything else to look at here?
Just basically, we're just looking at a car in the auto show now.
Can we just...
Should we just sit and admire it?
Can we just... I wanted to look at the map and just have a... No, we better not. We've got to save that for another time, I suppose, don't we? Or are we going again?
Yeah, we could have a drive around, yeah.
Yeah, let's have another wee drive around, just then we can get finished up. So when, we're very close to launch now, right? September the
27th. We are out worldwide on Xbox One and Xbox One S, obviously, and Windows 10 as well.
Yeah.
First time we've shipped on, on 2 platforms as well.
How's that experience been?
It's really exciting. It's super exciting. I think the thing that excites me most about it is the fact that it's a cross-play title, right? And I think the opportunities there for for us as developers are huge, right? Because suddenly it kind of doesn't matter what platform somebody's playing on. They want to play with their friends in this game, then they can, and the platform just works. It just works and brings people together. It doesn't distinguish between them based on the platform they're playing on. And I think that's going to be super exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, brilliant. So there we go. Forza Horizon 3. Honestly, Ralph, looks absolutely gorgeous. Feels amazing as usual. The music's great. The cars are great. I really, really like your game. And I just want to say congratulations.
That's very nice of you.
The only problem with it is that you finally beat me. So that was a bit of a problem. I'm going to look back at that bit of footage there and just see genuine disappointment in my face. I'm so gutted.
It's really about how you pick yourself up from this, Graham, that's important.
That's right. It's not how many times you